What's going on, guys? B Flatten here with a brand new video today. This one is going to be probably one of the most controversial videos that I have ever had to date. Let's just get right into it. This is going to be the discussion on the most hated character in the Borderlands franchise. The most hated, the one that everyone despises, wants to see the absolute worst happen to, and that character's name is Pickle. Just kidding, just kidding. It's actually about Ava. So this video is called Leave Ava Alone. The reason why it's called Leave Ava Alone is because Ava, since the beginning of the game and even till now, has been on the receiving end of the worst of the community, as in people wanting her written out, people wanting characters to kill her off, that sort of thing. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. After having this conversation thousands of times on a daily, I think it's finally time to place all of my opinions and proof that I have in one place, and we'll call it there. Twitter only has so many characters that I can write out. I think this is going to be a good spot to finally put out all of my information, so hopefully I can persuade some minds. This is what I got for you. So to get the least most controversial point out of the way before we get into the real heavy-duty stuff, is I feel as if there's a generational gap between us as a player and Ava as a character. So the reason why I say that is because a majority of the fan base is probably assumingly 17 plus due to the ESRB rating, the nature of Borderlands and everything like that. It's safe to assume that the majority of us are 17 plus, and Ava's only about 12, 13. She's just a kid, she's a teenager, and the number one insult in gaming that we see nowadays is, you know, oh, you're 12, go play Fortnite, or you must be 12, you play Fortnite, things like that and of that nature. I feel like it's just a automatic assumption to hate people in a different generation, you know? That generational gap is definitely relevant, is what I've been noticing, because you hear things like, oh, Ava's annoying, Ava is a whiny brat, that sort of thing. She's a teenager, she's 13 years old, that's how she's supposed to be written. If they made it so that Ava was fucking Einstein, it would have make a complete sense, because she would be put into the 1% and even more separated as a character than anything. So honestly, that kind of writing makes sense as to how she was presented in the game. That's why I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect. Okay, so number 2, this is where we're going to be getting into the real heavy stuff. This is the thing that has really shown and split the community up. The Calypso twins. The Calypso twins, they beat us to the Promethea Vault. This was proven in dialogue upon entering the Promethea Vault. It was quoted that Tyreen and the COV had beaten us there, as in when we get there, it's about time that we arrived and things like that. I have a clip. I have a clip that'll show it. Here's the dialogue, original volume and everything, just so you can hear what I'm getting at myself.
That's right, you dumb
right there.
smart tarps. We've had our followers combing the city for the vault since before you got here. Idiots.
That part. Can someone clip that part for me? So there you have it. There's the clip. The twins beating us allowed for a perfect ambush, and this has literally nothing to do with Ava being there or not being there. The Calypsos were already set up for a perfect advantage to set up an ambush and an attack on Maya. So the next clip that I have to provide, it kind of lines up with the clip that I had just now, except it goes in depth a little bit more, so I'm making this its entirely own point. It's when the twins do appear, when both Troy and Tyreen do appear to us in the vault before that one scene that we all know about, the way that they spawn in, they spawn to trap Maya either between the vaults and also the fast travel station. The clip will show and provide the proof of them and where they appear. Pay close attention because it's a very quick split second, but you do see them appear in between Maya and the fast travel station. Now, before I show the clip, there is two things to say about the fast travel station, and that is the fast travel station is not canon to the story, meaning that it doesn't exist. It's not supposed to be there. And even if it was there, you got to keep in mind that Tyreen has the powers of the Firehawk at the moment when she stole them from Lilith. Maya does not have teleportation. She has to walk, or she has to take a car, or she has to have some sort of land travel. She can't teleport. Tyreen can. Here's the clip, and yeah, pay close attention because you'll see where Tyreen and Troy strategically spawn in. And we're back. So if you really slowed down the video there, I might even edit and slow down the video where possible. You'll see that Troy and Tyreen appeared very strategically there. And we also have to keep in mind that the playable Vault Hunter, whichever character we pick and choose, we are not canon to the story either. So Maya was in a 2v1 scenario at all times. Even if she did escape, Tyreen has the powers of the Firehawk. She can teleport anywhere. Maya does not have that ability. She does not have that attempt to even escape, even if she wanted to. Ava being there doesn't really matter. If anything, Ava interrupting delayed the inevitable by about 30 seconds. Okay, so into and entering point number 4. Lilith is at more fault than Ava ever would be. Lilith has put everybody in harm's way in in more than one scenario, in multiple ways and multiple fashions. I don't have a clip for this because I don't really want to play Borderlands 2, but in Borderlands 2, in the Control Core Angel is my first primary example. Lilith was told specifically not to go to Control Core Angel because that's what Angel herself said. Lilith can't be here. And in a quote to that, when Lilith does appear and doesn't listen to orders, she says, "Yeah, well, I didn't listen." She directly says, "Yeah, well, I didn't listen." That is a key factor right there, because if we're talking about like childish behavior, Lilith is supposed to be like second in command to the Crimson Raiders due to Roland still being alive at this point in time. And she's also an adult that can make adult decisions. Her orders were to stay back at Sanctuary to defend it and not enter Control Core Angel. But as quote, "I didn't listen," she says. The other thing, it allows Roland to get indirectly killed because Jack appears and then shoots Roland through the heart. And then it also allows for Lilith's capture, which was quoted as Jack saying, "I have the most powerful siren to charge the vault key," which is crazy because that not only kills off Roland, but it would put all of Pandora at risk due to Jack wanting to summon the warrior to blow up the planet. So she put multiple people in harm's way just by saying, "Yeah, well, I didn't listen." That is very irresponsible. So here's the other thing. The other example that I have is Lilith not watching Ava while Sanctuary was taking off. If Lilith had paid attention to Ava for a certain amount of time upon landing, Ava wouldn't have had an opportunity to get off the ship. Ava is a known runaway, a known, I guess, delinquent of some sorts, I will admit that. Mischief and stuff like that. To watch someone who's known for doing this, that's pretty irresponsible to me. To our knowledge as well, Lilith has absolutely zero conversation Lilith has absolutely zero conversation with Maya, letting her know about what happened to her, what they do to Sirens, what Tyreen does, what Troy might be able to do. To our knowledge, there is zero conversation of that being there. So she's threw Maya into harm's way just by simply not giving her a heads up.
Figure it out, Lilith, before you get someone else killed.
She does go after Troy, which leads me to assume that she might know about what Tyreen does, but through the canon story, we don't actually have a conversation with that. We have no idea. So here's another thing that I run into all the time is, why was Ava the leader of Sanctuary at the very end of the game? If you haven't seen the end of the game, please turn away now, because this is the ending of the game and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But Ava becoming leader is probably the smartest choice out of everybody, and here's why. With Lilith gone, no one else is really viable or capable of stepping in. Now you have a few noteworthy characters, sure. You have, you know, like Tannis or Ellie and things like that, and we'll get into that in just a second. But Ava is now a Siren by technicality. She got Maya's powers. She is currently the most powerful Siren from what we're aware of, due to Lilith not being there. Lilith was quoted as the most powerful Siren, but Ava with the Siren powers of Maya, we now know that Maya can pull a fucking planet out of the sky. She can pull, you know, Elpis right out of the sky. That's pretty powerful, and that's a pretty good start for a leader to be extremely powerful like this. It also rates for Borderlands 4 pretty well. So, with our other characters in mind, let's go over through them. Tannis has proven that she can't do leadership. When the whole Maya scene happened, Tannis was asked to speak in that little circle. I'm pretty sure there'll be a clip here somewhere where Tannis was asked to speak, and she is just not good at taking leadership roles. She's good at one thing, and that's her studies. She's not really a person to take leadership or center of attention. Her being leader of Sanctuary doesn't really fit in with her writing. Even though if she was a pretty good choice. If she was a person who would be center of attention and leader, I would probably put my money on Tannis.
Let's go around.
Moxie has the jackpot to take care of. We know that the handsome jackpot is now in Moxie's control and possession. She has all of that to take care of. That's sort of her responsibilities. I don't think she really has the time to be leader of Sanctuary and, you know, give orders to the Vault Hunter. Ellie would be another good choice. I would have my money on Ellie. However, Ellie is in charge of the catch-a-ride station that her brother Scooter can no longer take care of. RIP Scooter. She has a lot of responsibilities and she's pretty tied up with that, I would say. Being leader of Sanctuary is probably not in her mindset and not in her eyes. The B team involving of Tina, and Mordecai and Brick, they're not really interested in vault hunting anymore. They kind of put that to the side. They only really showed up because of the capture of Hammerlock, and also because, you know, the world was in trouble. They didn't really have a choice. But as for vault hunting as a whole, they're not really caring about it too much. It's not like in their casual routines anymore. They're mercenaries. They're on Pandora. They're mercenaries now. It's pretty much what they do to pass the time. So vault hunting doesn't really give too much attention to them. Marcus cares about guns. Marcus cares about guns regardless. He cares about guns and he cares about selling them to anybody. I don't think he really cares about being a leader. He just cares about money and his guns and his wares. He wouldn't really be a good choice. And yeah, list goes on that there's literally nobody viable to take the role of leadership except for Ava. with the powers of Maya. It completely makes sense for her writing potential as well, because there's a lot of opportunity for, you know, when Borderlands 4 comes out, because at this point we know that they're already very set up for it. A comparison that I can make with that is Tiny Tina. I mentioned Tiny Tina a little bit earlier, but Tiny Tina makes sense in regards to the same thing that they're taking Ava in the direction. Tiny Tina had little vanilla writing. She had her little song at the intro, you know, where she blew up the bandit. She had 2 side quests that set you up for the baby maker, and there was also the flesh stick EXP exploit, which was fixed and, you know, made a little bit harder later on. Until her DLC, until the Assault on Dragon's Keep DLC, which was talked about in a previous video, go watch it if you haven't already. She didn't really have a lot of writing until that DLC, which was DLC 4 in Borderlands 2, keep in mind. She became a beloved character after this DLC was written, and after she came through, she became a beloved character. I have the same feeling about Ava. As of right now, Ava is not in a really good stance, but as soon as that DLC comes out, DLC 4 that is, for the Krieg, I see a lot of potential future with her. One of my predictions that I had for DLC 4 was that Krieg is going to see Maya through Ava. And what I mean by that is that Krieg eventually is going to see Maya's, you know, powers come through with Ava, and he's going to be seeing Maya through her. Going to have a lot of sympathy, going to have his sane side come out, and that might be his bring back to reality. Not only will this save Krieg, but it'll also simultaneously set up Ava for really good writing potential as a main character and as leader. I feel like this is going to be a great ending if they do decide to go with this, because they have a lot of setup and they have a lot of conclusions all in the same writing potential. Guys, I think this is going to do the video for me today. I hope I was able to slightly change some minds and turn some heads with the whole Ava debate. This is just what I think about Ava. I think Ava is a great character. She has her tendencies to be a little annoying and to piss off some people because of that. I will admit that. But as a character, she's written in very nicely, and I believe she has a lot of potential, and I believe that once DLC 4 comes out for Krieg, and once we have Borderlands 4 come out and more writing potential for her to be a placeholder, I feel that she will be a great character, and that she will finally turn the community to her favor. That is just what I hope. But anyways, guys, my name is B-Flat, and I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.